Hi everybody, welcome back. It's me again. You guys are going to get tired of seeing me on here instead of Eric. But we're going to be starting a new project and we're going to do it in steps as we normally do. But we are going to be making a clock, and this is what we're going to call our Sure clock. And you'll see why here in a minute. So I did a collage of some of my pictures of Sherlock, my kitten.
Hold it right there. Tip it the top four. Yeah.
There we go.
So we don't get glare.
So you guys know my cat is spoiled and we love him to death. And we were looking for something new to do, and I have a new product that we'll be showing you later. So we thought we'd do a Sure clock. So what we did was I had this printed out and I made the collage and I took it down to Staples and I had it printed out on 12 by 12 photo paper. I wanted to have it done on the two side or the vinyl, this peel adhesive vinyl, but they would have had to send it out and I didn't want to wait, so we just did it on the photo paper. Easy for me to say. And then Eric cut me a board and put on a what do you call that, a bevel? Put a bevel on it.
Kind of a round.
Yeah, and this is just MDF, 3/4 inch MDF board, and I put 2 coats of penetrating epoxy on it because I am going to resin this, and it would have just soaked in. This way it's soaked in, but so hopefully then when I put the resin on it, it's going to flow nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside because Eric said I don't want to get any tacky sticky stuff on there. Turn this over and I'm just going to spray it with this Super 77 sticky, what is this stuff called? Adhesive spray.
Adhesive.
So I'm just going to spray the whole thing.
So I would suggest move your board. That stuff really gets
Move it this way a little bit. How about if I put it underneath the paper here? That help?
Yeah,
there we go. That way. That way I won't get it on there.
If you cannot spray my knife.
Gosh, you're so picky.
You're in my shop again.
I know.
This just seems like a recipe for disaster.
I know, huh? Anyway, so now I'm going to attempt to spray this without really messing it up. I do have another one just in case.
Get right over the top, please.
Okay, just in case I mess this one up. So right over the top.
Yep.
And just spray it. Like so.
That's it. That's all you need right there.
Okay.
See how it drips?
That stuff's strong. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so now I just gotta let this set for just a second and get tacky. I don't know how long. A minute? Like a minute?
Yeah, a minute or so.
Do you have a paper towel so I can kind of wipe up some of these big goobers?
Yeah. See, that's why, and that's a really good learning deal. When you're spraying that adhesive, you're better off spraying, short spurts, like 1, 2, and then letting off
instead of holding it down.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's why you got the drips like that.
Oh,
if you'd have just gone, shh, shh, shh,
okay,
you know what I mean? That's why you got.
But I'm going to try to lift this a little bit because I don't want it to stick to the actual board.
Yeah. So now.
Now, if you'll take that, I'll move it over here.
And you could bend that over if you wanted to, like fold it over.
Bend what over? Well, the tablecloth.
You've got overspray, yeah, all over that thing.
There we go. Can I set it here?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to do that. And I'm going to bring my board over here.
Excuse me.
And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that I can get this on there with no bubbles. You think it's good?
Yeah, I think it's tacky.
Pretty tacky.
Yeah, it feels pretty tacky.
Yeah.
Make sure you set it right where you want it, because that's where it'll stay.
Okay. Fingers crossed, guys.
Part, yeah. Because there ain't no moving it once it's down.
All right. So now I have this little spatula thing. These are really cool. I get these from Total Boat. Every time I order resin, they send me the mixing cups, stir sticks. Oh, look at that. And these spatulas. Yay, I think that went on really good. Yay, me.
And they, if I'm not mistaken, they printed that on photo paper. Is that
It's
correct?
on photo paper, yeah. I had 2 of them printed. Like I said, one was on flat kind of a flat matte, excuse me, not a flat, but a matte finish, and one was a glossy finish, just because I wanted to see what they looked like. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Eric's pocket knife and I'm going to cut along this edge, maybe, and trim it down here.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah, there we go. Well, easier said than done, I think. I don't think your knife is as sharp as you thought it was.
Maybe it's not. Well, you were going to bring your own and then you borrowed it at the last second. So, full disclosure.
Well, mine.
It's not a new blade.
It's not, and it's not cutting for nothing. So we're going to change the blade on that thing. Real quick. Oh, you got another one?
Try this. This is my spare. It might be sharper.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Awkward silence. I'll have to turn that around and get that better. I want to get it, trim it off as much as possible. There we go. This might take a second or two. And then after we're done with this, we're going to take it into my shop and we're going to do a resin coat on it. So I'm going to finish this, and then when we come back, we'll be in my shop. So stick with us. Alright guys, so I've got about 3 ounces of resin, 3 ounces of hardener, 6 ounces total. Probably be a little too much, but I'm just not sure. I want to make sure that this is doesn't soak in. I don't think we've ever put penetrating epoxy on this board before, and we're at 3 minutes. So once you mix this stuff, you stir it for 3 minutes. And then you pour it. So let's see what happens.
And what product are you using?
Total Boat Tabletop. All right. Yep. Oh, I don't think I'm going to have too much.
I don't think so. I think...
Again, I just wasn't sure how this was going to soak in or not, so... It appears to be covering okay. Sherlock is very spoiled, but that's okay. He's our baby. And I know you all have pets, or some of you all have pets, and I'm sure they're spoiled too.
So we're some of those people that are dog people and cat people.
I've always been a cat people.
Vicky's always been more of a cat person. Well, I think I'll
you
say
like cats.
I've always liked cats, but we just haven't had cats in a decade and a half.
Yeah.
And so I've always liked dogs more than Vicky likes. Vicky likes dogs, but not like I do. But
I do like cats.
She's always been a cat person. And I will say that this cat is...
He's special.
He's
and I did level my board, so I made sure that it was level before I poured. And it looks good so far. I've got to get some bubbles out. Make sure I've got everything covered okay.
So this picture was, it wasn't laminated. It was just literally photo
paper.
Copied onto photo paper.
Yep.
Yeah. And Staples did it?
Staples, yeah. I would have preferred, like I said, that it was the vinyl, and I don't really know why, but because I would, I guess. I don't know. But
this seems to be working pretty well so far.
Knock on wood, yeah. Let's see.
So now you're grabbing the drips off the back side to put them on to the front?
Sure. Yeah, everything looks covered.
Something's going on right there, but it looks like a little bubble actually.
No, it's not a bubble. It's oh, there's bubbles in there definitely, but it's where I cut it and there's a piece sticking up there.
Oh, there's just a little. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to get the bubbles out. It is really hot in here.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah, I think it's right now it's about 95 plus in
I'm
here.
about out of stuff here too. That's all right. Have me my heat gun, please. Got to use the heat gun because I'm out of butane.
Right.
Interesting air bubbles coming up right here. All right, guys, there you have it. So we're gonna let this set. I'll keep checking the bubbles, and then not sure what that is. And then when we come back, we will move on to next step. Don't just love these step after step after step.
That's the way we roll.
That's the way we roll, yeah. So anyway, we're going to let this set up and then we will be back. So stick with it.
Hey guys, all right, so we are moving on with our little special project for our kitty cat. And we are going to make a clock out of this thing. That's why we call it Sure Clock. Kind of a play on words, you know, Sherlock, Sure Clock. Anyway, my idea. I amuse myself. Anyway, so we have actually a brand new product, two brand new products. If you are making clocks, this might be something that you might be interested in. This is 6 inches, and what's this one? About 12, right? About 6 inches, about 12. This is $7.50. This is $15. Really fast way to lay out clock. I think these are Clarendon numbers. Yeah, Clarendon bold numbers. So just want to share that with you. If you have any questions on it, let us know. They should be on the website by the time you see this. So we have our Vicky wanted this up in the corner so it didn't interfere with any of the pictures of Sherlock. So we are gonna lay this out, and we've got it kind of masked off so that we don't have, we're going to be sanding this whole thing down anyway, but we don't want to have to sand any more than we have to. So let's get this thing laid out.
You need your pencil the whole time.
I think it feels pretty flat. I don't think.
Yeah, I just think so it didn't blow away or something.
Yeah, let's put some pressure on it anyway. Now, on these layout patterns, the original one that Vicky made, these are the originals. They didn't have a center hole in them. This hole I drilled with my drill. But the products going forward, Vicky's going to modify those and put a center hole in them, just so you've got a hole to go by. That should do it. I think I sprayed my hand a little bit. And it's about 105 out here right now, so that is pretty much dry already. I used the primer, by the way, in case you guys didn't see that. So that, I think, is going to give me pretty good numbers to go by. So we are going to get set up. We'll come right back and we'll carve those numbers. Be right back. All right, so let's get to carving these numbers. And I've got my profile bit in with my little cordless 20 volt DeWalt, and let's see how it comes out. Here we go. All right, guys, I think you can get the idea of what I'm doing there. Now, one thing that I have learned on cutting through this resin is make sure that you keep that thing, don't let it build up. As soon as you make a cut and that stuff builds up in there, get that blown out of there right away, because the more that you don't, the more that it will catch on the bottom side of your base plate. So it takes having an air hose right near you and blow that stuff out as you're cutting it. So anyway, I'm going to get the rest of those numbers cut. And by the way, this stuff cuts really, really nice. Again, we're cutting through the resin, and then the board is made out of MDF. It's cutting super, super easy. So we'll get the rest of those numbers cut, and we'll be back. Okay, so we came up with some issues here that we hadn't counted on. I've never run across this before when cutting this resin. Haven't done a lot of it, but I've never encountered this thing. So I'm cutting along here. I've got it set at about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, and I get to here, and all of a sudden the middle of the 4 just flies off. Fortunately, I was able to find it. So what I have determined is that when we're cutting through the resin and cutting through that picture, and being as this isn't the vinyl that we've used in the past, this was just put on with spray adhesive, the picture let loose from the MDF on this little tiny piece here. And the problem with that is when we spray this and sand it off, we won't have the middle of the 4 if we don't put that back in place. So Vicky is going to super glue, use some Starbond, and glue that thing back in place. Hopefully that will work. So what I determined is that being as this whole thing is going to be flood poured afterwards, the depth doesn't really matter as long as we don't sand it out. So what I've done is on here, from here, this is where I figured it out between these two, and I backed it off to where I'm not even cutting all the way through the resin now. I'm not even touching the picture. So I will go back deeper and take out this extra stuff. And again, I'm using the profile bit, but I cut the internals here, 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 and here, and had no issue whatsoever. They're not wanting to break loose at all. But even places that I wasn't cutting internal cuts, like up here, I want to go back and I want to touch that up. But if you can look at that, you can see that piece is really fragile, so I'm not going to mess with it. Because it's already kind of broken loose, this is the only thing holding it in place. The adhesive is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this little piece, hand it to Vicky, so we don't lose that, because that's kind of important. And now I'm going to set deeper, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to take out the rest of this, which I don't think is going to be a problem. I'm going to set it back to about 1/8 of an inch, and I don't think that's going to be a problem with losing any of those internal pieces. At least that's the theory. So I'll let you watch that and see if I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. Here we go. Okay, so now the idea, guys, here, just so you know, the idea is I'm going to spray these black, and once these, well, I've got to, I've got to brush it real good, get all those loose pieces out of there. But once I spray it black, and then Vicky does a clear flood coat over the whole thing, those things are going to look, in essence, they're going to look like they might as well have been just stencils anyway. So that all of this stuff that's in there that you see that's white right now will all be sprayed black, and theoretically that's going to work. So stick with us. We'll be back and we'll show you how it comes out.
Okay guys, welcome back. It is really hot out here. Really hot. Alright, so Eric carved this. I'm going to sand it down, get all the black off of it, and kind of rough this up a little bit. And then I'm going to attempt to glue that little 4 in there, which I really don't think we need to, but that's...
Well, you'll get an idea of what...
If we were to sand just this little inside thing, just sand that, it would be fine. But
yeah, that's true. You could do that.
Anyway, so we're going to try it and see what happens. So, here we go. And I'm using the 120... what are these? These are the
random orbital.
Random orbital.
The disc?
Disc.
120 grit.
120 grit. Cling spore.
Cling spore
That's what
disc.
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Cling spore. All right, here we go. Sure we are. Guess what? I just pulled an Eric.
You did pull an Eric. Didn't plug it in.
Didn't plug it in. All right, now we're plugged in. I got. It's kind of hard to tell because if I got it all, because it's got black or dark. You missed it.
I sure did.
Whoopsie. He missed a spot.
Yeah, missed the top of the 7. Oh, we'll zoom in on that. Now we'll just have to use a Sharpie or felt pen to darken that in.
Yeah.
Because it'll come out white, right?
Yeah.
We know how to fix things.
Voila.
Just like it never happened.
That's too deep.
We do have some fine tip Sharpies in there if you need them.
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. All right, now for that tip.
So you're putting Starbond on the back of that little middle piece.
This little bitty
Tiny thing.
weeny thing.
Maybe it'd been better off putting it on the wood. I don't know. We'll see. It's almost like you need tweezers.
I brought another toothpick, please.
No accelerator needed here because you're just going to let it dry naturally, so you have a little bit more work time. Right?
Yeah. Sorry I can't talk and do this at the same time. Sorry.
Trying to get a better angle there. That's all right. You do what you do. I'll try and get the angle. Did it work? It's hard to tell through this screen. Looks like it's... Yeah, look at that. Wow. That is impressive.
Are you impressed?
I'm impressed.
Okay.
All right, we're going to let it set.
Let this set, and then we'll come back, and Eric will take care of the next part. So
As you can see, guys, I drilled the hole off camera for the middle clock parts because the layout was there, and if I had sanded it without drilling that hole first, I would have lost my mark. So anyway, we'll come back and we'll cut the cavity in the back side. Be right back. All right, you guys, so now it's back to me. I've got, Vicki did the sanding on this, so it's ready for the pour in that respect, but now we have to cut a cavity on the back for the clockworks. So I basically just put that, I got the hole the right size, put that in there, and drill around it. Now we're gonna cut it, so I'm gonna use my Cobalt cordless, and I got it set at about 1/4 inch. I'm going to cut that cavity about half an inch deep, but I'm going to take it 1/4 inch at a time, just to be safe. So I need to put my mask on.
Where's your cheaters?
I don't need my cheaters for this. This is actually my eyes. I think my regular glasses will work for this. I hope we have sound, right?
All right, Dorothy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay. All right. So this stuff is this Medex. I have cut it before where it made me sick when I wasn't wearing a mask. So I'm wearing a mask. We're not doing very much, but anyway. So let's. Yeah. Let's do it. All right, let's take a look. Let's see if it fits. Oh, not sure.
I need to take a little bit more out of that corner right there. Dadgummit. All right. Okay, and it appears we need to go a little bit deeper because otherwise we can't get the nut on there. So I'm going to cut that a little bit deeper. But I'm going to do that off camera, guys. I'm just going to go down another 1/8 of an inch deeper, and then when we come back, Vicki will be pouring the front side. So we'll be right back.
Hey guys, so we are going to pour some resin on this. And I've got 6 ounces of resin. I made a little more simply because I got to get in the depth of those numbers right there. And I think it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is
we're going to lose a little bit out of the hole.
We'll lose a little bit. Yeah, it's going to drain through that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this stick and I'm going to try filling up these numbers. Again, Total Boat tabletop resin. 6 ounces, 3 ounces of hardener, 3 ounces of resin. I want to do these first. Boy, it's windy out there.
Listen to that wind.
I can hear it.
Wow.
Yeah. Just to make sure these get filled. This is a little bit thick because it's a little cooler out here. Eric's turned on the air conditioner early. So...
Not quite as warm in here as it was on the patio yesterday.
Yeah, no, not even close. Now I may get a few bubbles in here simply because I didn't spray any kind of finish on the inside of those numbers to seal them up.
Sometimes we do that, huh?
Yeah, sometimes, but I just totally forgot about it, so we'll deal with what we got. Awkward silence here. So, how's the weather?
It is actually kind of cooled down for the next few days.
Thank God.
Under 100, and then back up to over 100 next week, I guess, based on the forecast that I saw. But it must have been about 107, 108 on the patio yesterday. When
It was hot. All right, so now I'm just gonna pour this on and cover the rest of it. I did do, I took a, what is it, a 120 little sanding disc and went around these edges a little bit, just simply because it seemed to me like it was so rough, even with the penetrating epoxy and the first coat of Total Boat. It just seemed to me like it was rough, so I went over it because I wanted it a little bit smoother.
Yeah, that MDF, when you're putting anything on MDF paint or finish or anything on the edge, it is literally like a sponge.
Yeah.
It really soaks in. Well, looks like you made the right amount.
Yeah, I did. I was a little worried I was going to make too much, but I want to make sure I get a nice... And I did level my board, so it was nice and level.
And I was thinking, I had forgotten about the hole for the middle of the clock. I'll probably have to re-drill that, which is no big deal. I just have to open it back up because it'll be closed up a lot from the resin.
Yeah.
But that's no big deal.
Looks like I got everything pretty covered there.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody's probably going, why is she making a clock with her cat?
Why not?
Because I can, and I'm out of paper towels.
You're out of paper towels.
Yes, so I'm going to have to take this off. did put some juice in my torch. Now I'm just going to have to keep an eye on those numbers and try to keep the bubbles down in there. I think I saw a blank spot that I need more resin on. There we go. Actually, not bad. Woo, look at me. There's a few, but I think it's not really that deep.
Might want to be careful with your left hand. You've got resin all over that glove,
that I'm putting behind my back.
And you're putting it behind your back. Yeah. So did you want to talk about your cover thing?
Yeah, I do. I want to just, let me check this real quick. So you guys, if you're going to do many smaller things like this, let me throw this away. I actually got they're picnic bench, picnic covers, like for covering your food. And Vernon Ekstrom actually gave me like 3 or 4 of these, and they work so good for covering up your piece to keep dust and other little things off of your
flying critters, especially.
Flying critters, or for Tessa's purposes, hair. Yeah. Tessa keeps getting hair in her resin. And they're easy to lift. Let me show you. Just put it on there.
That's pretty cool.
Covered. And then it's easy to lift when you come back and check your bubbles, and you know, you're not having to tear everything down and put it back and all that kind of stuff. So with this, or rounds, or coasters, or anything like that, these things are great. And I know you can get them on Amazon. So, okay, so that's about it until the next scene, when we're going to finish it up and put the clock pieces on. I ordered some small little clock hands. And I'm anxious to get this done. So we'll be back in just a little bit, actually tomorrow, because this has got a set. So we'll be back and we'll finish it up. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, there's our final project, you guys. That is our Sherlock clock, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't.
Anyway.
Hopefully you can see that again now.
Hopefully you guys, it's hard to tell in the camera, but it came out really, really well. Vicky did an amazing job on the resin. It just looks fantastic.
Those numbers, nothing.
Yeah, and the sides are smooth. Remember how they were kind of rough? That flood coat over the sides, I was really concerned about that, because this MDF is like a sponge on the side, and they were really rough, but Vicky sanded those down, and then the flood coat just sealed it up perfectly, and the cavity in the back works out really well. Vicky sanded off the back, so it is, we just have to put a hanger on there. Vicky can put it on her wall in her office. And again, we're promoting the little clock layouts. So this is the 6-inch one, $15, and then the 12-inch one is.
That's not right.
No.
Yeah.
No, the 6-inch one's $7.50, and the big one's $15. Yeah, $15 for the big one. That's 12-inch, and then the 6-inch is $7.50. But anyway, so that might be handy for you guys if you want to get into the clock making situation. But yeah, really happy with the way this came out, and it'll be a nice addition to Vicky's wall in her new office. So I hope you guys liked this. We had a blast making it. It was definitely a collaboration. Vicky's and I's both ideas kind of went into this thing. And we learned a lot about.
It's more that you can do with the signs. If you're, I mean, obviously you put cats, dogs, flowers, whatever you wanted. I wanted Sherlock, so. Yeah,
the cool thing is you can put the resin and carve right through the resin and right through these pictures. This one was a little bit different. If it was the vinyl that we had done before on the Augustini baby sign, that stuck real well, because we lost the middle of that 4, but fortunately Vicky was able to fix that.
and just super happy with the way it came out, but might give you guys ideas of things that you can do. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and please give us a thumbs up. Please give us comments, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys have any questions, email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. Thanks so much. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.